are having a conversation on matters mixed-use development and just focus on vision and planning, community impact, as well as the regulation and policies that have been put in place around that place. And our specific focus is on Crystal Rivers malls and residences. And I'm delighted to have Judy Mwiruri, the sales lead at Crystal Rivers malls and residences, as well as another Judy Kabubu, who is a lawyer at Crystal Rivers malls and residences. Ladies, it's good to have you this morning. So for our viewers, even who are watching this conversation this morning, let's just start with just enlightening them on what is mixed-use development entails.
Okay, a mixed-use development is a development that comprises of both commercial and residential in the same place. So it provides a wholesome community by offering a place to live, to work, to play, and to shop. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, great. And why are most organizations, even the likes of Safaricom, going for these kind of developments?
Because it offers, like she said, it offers living, having fun, working in one place. So if I can move from my house and go to the mall and do my shopping, if I can have my kids still go to school in the same area, because mixed use still involves having schools in the same area. If I can do all this within a proximity and I don't have to get into my car and drive out, it creates a better sales point, so to speak. And most Kenyans are going for, I want convenience at the end of the day. I want everything within one proximity. And even with the cost of living increasing and fuel and etc., you want everything just available at one point.
Yes. Yeah. And what is it that distinguishes Crystal Residences from other organizations that are taking place in such programs?
It's because we have a unique concept, which is that of a mixed use, like we said. We have a school, we have apartments, we also have townhouses in the same compound. So our residential have both the townhouses and we have apartments, and then we have an in-house school, and then we have the mall. We also have amenities around our community, like the swimming pool. We have apartments have lifts, we have solar water heating, and many others. Yeah.
Perhaps just give us an in-depth outlook of the home ownership process and the sectional titles. I think Judy can answer that.
Yes. So what Safaricom has done from the onset is to ensure that all documentation is available to any purchaser, or even if you're taking up space at the mall from the onset. So when you come on board, we have the letter of offer already in place. Once you sign that and met the terms, then we move to the agreement for sale, which is already also in place. That is negotiated, and once agreed, parties sign, and then now we move to the sectional titles, which I think is a very good selling point for this type of development. There are 398 units. So to be convenient to the purchaser, Safaricom Staff Pension Scheme made the decision in 2022 to move the development from what we used to do before, which are long-term leases, to sectional titles. So sectional titles came into play by virtue of the Sectional Properties Act 2020 and the regulations in 2021. So we already have sectional titles for each and every single unit. So once you've finished the whole process, whether you're a cash buyer or you're taking up financing from a bank, you will receive your own title that is not tied to the mother title, the way we used to tie them to the mother title in the past.
Okay,
so
great.
That is the long and the short.
Okay, yeah. Great. And in terms of how chamas and investment groups are being encouraged to buy on more units since fractional ownership is possible, how are you going about that?
Okay, at Crystal Rivers, we have come up with a package, a discounted package for groups. Like you said, for investment groups. So if you purchase, right now we are currently selling 3-bedroom apartments, which are going for 6.5 million. So if a group, a chama or another investment group comes, then if you buy 5 to 9 units, we give you a 5% discount. If you buy 10 to 20 units, we give you a 10% discount for the group. that's how they get to benefit from buying in Crystal Rivers.
Okay, perfect. And Judy, what are some of the regulatory and also policy frameworks that have proven effective in fostering successful mixed-use development and urban integration as a whole?
I would think the legislation that has brought that into effect is the Sectional Properties Act. Because before, what used to happen is all units used to be tied to the mother. And if you dealt with an unscrupulous developer, it would mean that you're tied to whatever loan or whatever it is that he's taken on the mother title. But now with sectional titles, it gives the developer the ability to not only exit from the development itself, in stages, of course, as you sell the units, but you're able to totally exit without having to transfer any interest in the mother title. So the sooner you transfer each sectional title, it means slowly by slowly you as the developer are leaving. And unfortunately, what we have seen in the past is that developers still want to hold on to the mother title. But now with sectional titles, they cannot do that. You can't hold on to the mother. So once I have my sectional title, I'm able to deal with my unit. It can be offices as well, by the way, not only houses. I'm able to deal with my unit as I choose. I pay my own rent and I pay my own rates tied to my own unit. I'm not tied to the rest of the units or the rest of the office spaces or the mother title.
Great. And Judy, even as I'm saying Judy, and I'm wondering which Judy will answer this. Muiruri, even as you tell us more on the features and the benefits of these residences and also mixed-use development, when, for example, you're developing in a certain area, what benefit also does it bring to the local residents there?
It's important to consider location, accessibility. It plays a major factor, you know, for investors and for people also who want to live in a certain community. Make sure that the location, the place where you choose to build is very accessible and there are amenities around, you know, electricity, water. Water is very crucial, you know. Shopping malls right now, at least we have, you know, we see shopping centers and malls coming up in many places. So those are the things. Convenience, like we said, at the end of the day, people want to be in a place where it's convenient. They're not going to spend a lot of fuel to move around and time as well. So that is really important. And Crystal Rivers is actually very strategically located on the road. Yeah, it's right on the road, very easy to connect from the expressway.
And what are some of the strategies you think can be employed to ensure that these projects are inclusive and beneficial to the whole population within the city?
Okay, for example, like I'll just give an example of Crystal Rivers. It's inclusive because if you want, not everybody can afford a house. Yeah, you know, like the townhouses that we have, the prices are different, right? So we made sure that there's, the developer ensured there's the apartments, which go for 6.5 to cater for those. And for those who have bigger families and they want to live in a house, they also provided that because those are also going for 11 and 12 million. So you can see the price is different, the product is different, but at least they've included everyone and everybody gets to enjoy the facilities, living in Crystal Rivers and the facilities provided.
Great. And from a legal perspective, Judy, are there any challenges or barriers that you're facing on the current policies that we have that hinder the effective implementation of these mixed-use projects within the urban centers?
So the only hindrance that is there is maybe with the Ministry of Lands. So we are finding that every now and then processes are changing. So good example is before we were able to pay, we used to pay stamp duty through the KRA portal, iTax portal. But that slowly changed, not slowly, changed suddenly now that we are paying through the Ardhi Sasa portal. And the challenge with that is that the implementation of that change takes a bit of time. And by the time it now trickles down to the stakeholders, you find that your transactions are delaying a bit. So now with the change, for example, the one I given for change of payment of stamp duty to Ardhi Sasa, you'll find that the system is just a bit slower than it is on the iTax, than it was on the iTax. So by the time you pay and you receive confirmation of your payment, it's days later. For example, we made a payment on Wednesday of stamp duty, about 10 or so. Today morning is when I'm receiving notification that the portal has received payment of 3 out of the 10. So you see, it's slower.
Yes.
So if the Lands Office would work with stakeholders to implement the changes faster, it would lend to the transactions also going a bit faster. If you delay me on one end, it means the purchaser or the end user is delayed on their end. And unfortunately also, it seems like it's a constant excuse if these changes are always coming up every now and then. So it seems that you as a lawyer, you as legal, are the ones who are lying to the purchaser or the end user, but in reality, the government has changed a process, so it means that your process also delays. So if Ministry of Lands and any other stakeholders really involved in that process flow of transferring of land was to work with stakeholders, I think a seamless process can be created such that we don't seem like liars to our clients, and also the clients are satisfied with the services that we are giving.
Yeah. And have you had instances where clients think you're kind of duping them due to the long processes now?
Not duping per se, but just the process taking a long time. Let me give another example. So to process the sectional title, we have to book in Machakos, come all the way to Nairobi to have the title typed out, because there's a component missing somewhere. So you see, if that component was not missing, it would mean that that delay time of me having to come all the way to Survey of Kenya to have my title typed would not be there. Sometimes you'll find that titles are like letterheads. They're produced by government printers. You'll find that the titles are not available. So you have to wait for government printers, procurement, etc., and the titles are provided. So if I think some of these steps were not missing, or if some of these things were done by the Ministry of Lands to ensure that this process is seamless, we would also have confidence in our clients. Yeah.
Okay, great. And Judy just talked to us about the financing model, as well as some of the mortgage plans that we have at Crystal Residences.
Okay, we do offer 3 payment plans if you buy at Crystal Rivers. The first one is a cash payment plan where you do your 10% deposit and then the balance within 60 days. And the second one is via mortgage. Here we've partnered with a bank, Stanbic Bank, offering mortgage at 9.5% for 25 years, up to 25 years. This is an unchanging rate. And the last one also, we can also give you an installment plan where you still make your 10% deposit and then your balance within 1 year.
And in terms of the mortgage plans that you have?
Yeah, mortgage, like I mentioned, we've partnered with Stanbic Bank.
Stanbic,
yes,
okay,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, at 9.5%.
Okay, great. And now many people would ask, what difference does this kind of project or program bring to the economy, and also in terms of ensuring there's diversity?
Okay, so I'll answer that maybe by just adding on to what Judy has said. So if you're looking for something to invest in, Crystal Rivers would actually be very perfect in terms of the apartment. The 9.5% she's talking about being offered by Stanbic is at a rate of paying back 50,000 per month, fixed for the period of the loan, so for the 25 years. Okay. It is at 50,000. You'll find most Kenyans nowadays middle class. That is how much you're paying in rent.
Yes.
So if you can get an apartment at Crystal Rivers, it means you can, whatever it is you're paying as rent, you can pay towards your loan, and eventually the house would be yours once the loan is discharged. Sorry, that is one. Second, even if you're taking the mortgage, and you're doing it as an investment. So maybe you want to rent it out. Right now, the rent is at 45,000 per month. But you see, this is now. So in a few years...
That is for one or two bedroom units?
An apartment.
Okay.
3 bedrooms.
Yes,
okay.
An apartment, which is 3 bedroom.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So within, let's say 3-4 years, that rate will have gone up, and you will start seeing returns in your investment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And in terms of just ensuring there's sustainability and also ensuring that you help with dealing with the environmental challenges within the city, how do you curate now whatever you're building to ensure that it's also environment friendly?
Okay, case and scenario in Crystal Rivers, first of all, every house has a solar heating system, so that way right there we're saving energy because they are solar powered. You don't have to heat your water during the day.
Yes.
You know, the water is already hot in the evening when you go. Number 2, also still in Crystal Rivers, we have a water treatment plant which helps to recycle water that can be used to in the environment, to keep the environment green and all that. We have a lot of green spaces in Crystal Rivers, and with a treatment plan, you can help you can help to recycle the water for other uses. Yeah.
Okay, great. And just in terms of even transportation and accessibility, what is it that you look for even when looking for a site to, for example, put up these houses?
So, of course, accessibility to what we would call the road. Yes, so you wouldn't want a development deep in the interior where someone has to go through rough roads, or you have to incur further costs as a developer to actually develop that road. Closer to the road is better. Crystal Rivers, for example, is just a few kilometers from the expressway and just right after the Athi River interchange. Yes, so accessibility, it needs to be somewhere where we would consider accessible, near the road, near other developments, near a railway, something like that. Yeah.
And maybe you could just expound to us on the attractiveness of the property. Probably there's someone who's watching and they're wondering why Crystal Residences.
Why Crystal Residence? Because we are a wholesome community. We have an in-house school called Diamond Junior. Your kids, the younger ones, can start there, so they can just be walked to school. You know, the kindergarten level up to grade 3, they can start from there, which is inside the community. When it comes to our apartments, like we are only 5 floors high, but we also have put lifts. We have lifts in them. We have solar water heating. We have a swimming pool for the kids to enjoy. We have a kids play area that has been set up. Our community is very big. You know, you can walk at night. You can jog. We have CCTV surveillance. It's a very safe community, by the way, in terms of also security. And most importantly, you can just walk to the mall. Chandarana is our anchor tenant, and we have other shops that have come up, pharmacies, beauty spaces, and much more. So it's a very convenient place to live in. For only 6.5, surely you cannot. If you look around, if you look around, you will not get a community that offers you all that right on the road for 6.5 million.
Where is the exact location?
In Athi River, just 5 minutes after the Kitengela Athi River interchange.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. And just Judy too, now talk to us about how these mixed-use development are driving trends for integration.
So the way they are driving trends is that more and more people are looking towards communities where I can live, I can work, I can play, I can shop. So if I can have all that in one area, so to speak, then it means not only am I attracted to that place, I also attract others to that place.
Yes.
So where Crystal Rivers is at, there is a really big estate behind it, where you will find that people are coming to the commercial space to have services undertaken there, go to the supermarket, etc. Kids, parents are also enrolling their children in the kindergarten. that is part of the mixed-use development. So mixed use not only helps those who are living within the mixed use, it also helps integrate the rest of the community.
Yes, yeah. Perfect. And let me just take the final shot from you, Judy, and Judy Muiruri and Judy Kabubu.
Okay, you're all welcome to visit Crystal Rivers, and for more information you can reach us on crystalrivers.co.ke, where we have so much that we have put about Crystal Rivers. Our phone numbers are there. We are available 24/7 on WhatsApp. This is also because of diaspora community, and call us anytime. Anybody can visit Crystal Rivers Monday to Sunday. We are open throughout, and even during public holidays. They can just call, make an appointment, and we'll be there to walk them through Crystal Rivers.
And Judy, your final take, even as you peg it on how safe, why should people consider this because of the safety of it and the regulation part of it?
That is exactly what I was thinking. So our law firm, Man Advocates, has been on the project since inception. So since they started building up. And every single legal step has been taken, from change of use to subdivision now to the sectional titles. We have all documentation in place. We have copies of all titles for the sectional, even from when the property was just one big property, all approvals, all consents, etc. So from the onset, even from letter of offer stage, before you commit, you are given all this documentation so that you're able to undertake your due diligence and be sure that what you're purchasing is clean. I've been in the real estate conveyancing legal space for quite some time, let's say over 10 years. And from the projects that I've been able, not only acting for the developer side, but also acting for the purchaser side, this is one of the cleanest projects that I have worked on. And that is because Safaricom Staff Pension did not ignore any legal hurdle that needed to be undertaken. Yes. From change of use, they did not ignore. When we advised them that you need to do a change of use, they readily took it on. When sectional titles came up, and by that time, we had already done all other legal processes for what we used to use in the past. They readily took it up and said, since this is how we are going, let us be the first of its kind to ensure that we are